Hello and welcome back to all my fans, my friends, and anyone who wants to manage their stress and feel more in control. You're very, very welcome along. Today we're going to talk about problem solving, and I can let you in on a secret. I've practiced psychology for 35 years, and I've done that by practicing problem solving, and I'm going to reveal the 6 steps to problem solving during this video. Okay. Step 1, define the problem. And I think the person who described it best about how do we define a problem is Einstein. And he says, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend the first 55 minutes in actually looking at the problem. What is the nature of the problem? So for instance, if we were to say to ourselves, my problem is I'm not happy, what we need to do is be much more specific in what makes you unhappy. Is it your relationship? Is it your lack of a relationship? Is it your diet? Is it your job? Are you being bullied in your job? But the first step, and it's probably the most critical step, is when we're trying to solve a problem, we need to decide and figure out what is the nature of the problem. It's not enough to make a generic term like I'm unhappy or I'm sad. What is it that makes us unhappy or makes us sad or makes us angry? So that's our first step. And we need to, as Einstein says, we need to spend plenty of time thinking that through. What is it that causes the problem? Okay, step 2, brainstorm. That's what we do at this point. We have to try and think up as many possible solutions to the problem. We've defined it. Now we have to think what might make things better. And at this point, we can use our creativity, think outside the box, think inside the box, but we need to come up with about 10 things that might solve the problem, and it can be anything at all. So for instance, if it is that my boss at work is a bully, one brainstorm might be that you leave the job. Just an example of how we brainstorm. I'm not saying that would be the best solution, but it's one solution. So we need to come up with about 10 and write them down. Step 3, rate the solutions. So having brainstormed all of the possible solutions to your problem, we now go back over them and we rate each solution out of 10. 10 being the best possible plan or option, 1 being the worst possible one, but we could have 3 or 4 that are 1s, 2s, whatever. We could have 2 or 3 or 4 that could be 10s. So it's not a ranking. We rate each solution independently and decide how feasible, how likely, how reasonable each one is. And as I say, the ones that are scoring, the ones you would score highest are the ones that are most likely to work for you. Step 4, select the best options. So at this point, we go back through our list again, having rated each of the options, and we select the top 1, 2, or 3 options on our list. So there could be 2 that are 10, 2 that are 9, maybe there's no 10s on our list. So we select 2 or 3, or as I say, even just 1 option in order to develop our plan, which is going to be our next step. Step 5, write out a plan. So at this point, we have selected our best options from our brainstorm list, and now we have to turn it into a plan. So we write them out on a sheet. But at this point now, we have to get more specific. And this is there's some phrase about all the W's: who, what, where, when, why. I don't know if you have to do why, but we actually have to be specific on our plan. So we take each of our chosen options and we write them down. And we write them down in more detail about when we're going to do them, who's going to do them, and all of the things associated with that, with that option, and how often we're going to do them, etc. So this is the planning stage, step 5, where we write out our specific plan. Step 6, review. Now, this point is the rock upon which many a well-intentioned plan perishes. We write out our plan, we have great intentions, but then we don't follow up. So, as Einstein was talking about the importance of defining what the problem is, equally important is we need to set a date when we are going to review our plan. And the reality is, with this system, it doesn't matter if the plan hasn't worked fully. Indeed, I've often said it, we learn an awful lot more from the valleys than the peaks. Or as Ash Barty, I've quoted her before, says, you're either winning or you're learning. So either your plan is working, or we ask ourselves at review, what have we learned in the last period of time, whether it's weeks or a month. I wouldn't leave it longer than a month, whatever your plan is. But you must make it sacrosanct that you're going to sit down and review, did our plan work? What went well? What worked in our plan? And what didn't work well? What have we learned? And we recalibrate our plan, but we never stop, because it's very important. They call this errorless learning. If we stick to our system, we can't fail to learn. So if it's successful, well, we've learned we have the formula right. If it's not successful, we learned what doesn't work, and let's try something new. And we keep doing that. We keep reviewing until we're satisfied. Problem solved. So that's it for today's video. This is the key to solving all of your problems. There's no problem that you can't apply these 6 steps for. If you have any questions, please do put them down in the comments section. I will write back. Or if you just have some comments, I'd love to hear them. Problem solving, the key to all of your problems. So very best of luck, and I look forward to talking to you again. Take care.